and welcome to Kayla's World. I'm Kayla Canoe, aspiring author, and today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a 2020 planning slash goals video. So I am going to go through my goals for this coming year, as well as maybe a little bit of a reflection of how last year went. And I'm going to show you guys my planner that I use. So yeah, as far as 2019 is concerned, overall, I feel like it was very productive. I made a little bit of a career change to where I am making more money, but that also means I'm working more hours, which gives me a more limited schedule for my writing. But I actually wrote a lot more in 2019 than I have in the past several years. My goal was to really focus on my writing and to make it a priority, to not take so much downtime. And so I got off my butt. I finished that first draft of my novel. I spent the whole month of July replotting that novel, and then I worked on it consistently up until NaNoWriMo, in which I won NaNoWriMo and I got the shirt. So I'm not wearing it today because today I'm Batman, but I have my NaNoWriMo's winner shirt. And when I won, I was just very happy, and I also was in my new position, and so for me that was kind of, reflective on the fact that even though I worked 45 hours a week, regular job, I also spent 2 to 3 hours a day nearly every day of the week and devoted that time to my writing. And that's on top of spending, we'll say 30 minutes to an hour a day exercising, because exercise has also been a priority for me. Because the healthier I am, the better I take care of myself, the easier it is for me to write, the easier my days are, the more energy I have. And so it's been a bit of a balance between exercise, work, and writing. That being said, I did not read as much as I wanted to this year. I read so many books in 2018, and I had just started reading again. I hadn't really read any books in a really long time. In 2018, I read 30 books? I don't know, something like that. I didn't keep track of it because I don't got time for that. But I read somewhere between 20 and 30 books in 2018. And 2019, I don't even think I read 10 books. I read a few at the beginning of the year, but I've been trying to read the first book of the Wheel of Time series for like 6 months now. 6 months, 7 months, and I'm like on the 5th chapter. Not that the book is, it's a longer book, yes, but like I just have not been dedicating time to reading, but some of that has to do with having limited time, and I've been spending more of that time writing, so I'm not really upset about it. But for 2020, I sat down. So on Christmas Day at my partner's family's house, I sat down in the morning and I made my goals for 2020. And so I'm just gonna briefly list them. So my goals are to exercise 5 to 7 times a week. And more specifically, I'm working on running a 10-minute mile / 30-minute 3 miles, because I'd like to do a 5K at some point. Not because I need to, because I want to. I don't know. I'm not really a runner, but I'm also an aerialist. If I never mentioned that before, I do aerial arts, aerial circusy stuff. The fabric that hangs in the air that people like roll themselves up in, and like the metal hoop that's in the air that people do crazy things on. So I do that. So that's one of my other fitness goals. I'm working on doing aerial inverts and such for that. So that is one of my goals. I do that every weekend, if you didn't already know. my third goal, and several of my other goals are all related to writing. So my third goal for the year is to finish my second draft of my novel, and to get through a read through and to really knock out developmental edits. So I'm calling it my second draft because there were a lot of changes after replotting, and I'm mostly through it after NaNoWriMo. I'm over halfway through it, so I just need to finish it, and then after that I want to work on developmental edits and getting my plot and character development and everything in place, and really just working on finishing the book. I mean, not finishing it, but like making it publishable, like getting it published ready, so editing and beta readers and such. My other goal, so obviously I want to work on my YouTube channel. So I have been consistent yet inconsistent, so I'm really proud of myself for posting weekly. I did really well with that this year. So the year before I had tried and like I did like 6 weeks and then I stopped posting videos. So I was pretty consistent this year. I know this past month of December I have not been consistent, and I think I've only posted like one video. But after NaNoWriMo, I kind of needed a little bit of a break, so I went a little bit easy on myself. But starting 2020, I am going to push for that consistency once a week, probably Mondays. We'll see. But once a week is my goal to help grow my platform. I'm also going to be working on researching. So for this year, I want to research and develop a publishing plan for myself because I'm going to self-publish, and I've done some minimal research over the past couple of years as far as, reading books and articles and watching other YouTubers that have self-published. But now that my book is feeling like a real thing, now that I've gotten far enough in the writing and dedicated enough to the writing that the end is in sight, I really need to create a marketing plan and a publishing plan, because the book will be ready before I know it, and if I do not have that stuff in place beforehand, it's going to be rough. So those I'm going to be working on this year. And then I want to participate in more writing events. So last year I did Camp Nano in July, and I did NaNoWriMo. So this year I want to do the Camp Nano in April and July and the November NaNoWriMo. And then I'm actually going to look into seeing what kinds of writing conferences there are. I know that I just heard about one from another YouTuber. I think it was Jenna Moresi who mentioned it. There's some sort of, it's in April. It's let's see, Write Hive that she mentioned. That's April 18th and 19th. I haven't researched it yet. I'm going to. But I will probably pop in on that to do some learning. But yeah, so that's pretty much my goals for 2020. And most of them are writing focused, and I actually have, I think, officially decided that I want to start working towards the path of becoming a self-employed full-time writer. So obviously that's not going to happen overnight. It's probably going to take me a few years to get to that point, but I have officially decided that that is what I want, and that is what I want to work towards. So I will be looking into that, researching that, and kind of preparing myself and my steps that I need to take to get to that place. And moving on, we're going to look at my planner. Okay, so I know I've shown you guys some of my random writing schedule things. I have limited time. I work full-time. I have other priorities. I have a lot of things that I do, and I like to do a lot of things. That being said, I can't bullet journal. I mean, I could, but I don't have the time. Bullet journals are beautiful. They're gorgeous. For those of you who do them, they're beautiful. I wish I had the time. I don't. And if you're like me and you don't have the time for that, I'm gonna show you what I do. So I have a 360 one, and I'm gonna show you last year's because last year's was actually prettier. So I got this because I was becoming a personal trainer and I wanted to have a place where I could record my meetings, my sessions, whatnots. Do more of what makes you happy. It's inverted, sorry. But yeah, so it is a 360 binder, so it's got these rings where you can just like pull these pages off and interchange them, so you can really customize it to whatever pages you like. This one was really pretty because it had, let's see, at the beginning of each month, it's got like these cute pages. I'm sorry they're inverted. That you can fill out. It's got, you know, what you're celebrating, your monthly goals, what you're currently, you know, reading, planning, listening to, things like that are listed on here, as well as dates to remember. And then it's got, you know, obviously the pretty page and then the monthly layout for the month, so I can write in any events and activities, things I need to remember to do. And then it also has kind of the weekly little pages. And so this is what I've been using. And if I look back at this, let's look at NaNoWriMo, because that probably makes the most sense for showing you what I did with this. So I have it filled out. My word goals are on here. Keeping my routine, because my workout goals are on there too. It's not really anything on my monthly vlog. On my monthly thing, I have my YouTube dates posted on there. I was actually relatively consistent with that for NaNoWriMo. And then I have pages that look all crazy and filled out, which is the bulk of what I use for my actual planning. And I will show you what I've done so far for this upcoming year. So this one did not have as pretty of pages, so I kind of had to customize it a little bit. So this is my extent of bullet journaling, is that I had to create my own list and little categories to write things under. So a blank one that I updated kind of looks like this. It's pretty basic, but it's got the same categories that the other one had that I liked, that I used, and I wanted to have it in this one, and so I had to kind of bullet journal it myself. I don't have anything filled out yet because I still need to do my planning for my YouTube, but monthly calendar. And then as far as the weeks go, so the things that I put in here, I have the time that I leave for work listed. I have my exercise that I am intending to do, or whatever workout I am intending to do, listed next to that. And then I don't have any of them on here. But any events that I have, so like I'm doing a party tonight, I'm meeting up with people, I have that listed on here. I have my weekly thing that I do on Thursdays. I have my aerial classes listed on the weekends. And then there's like a little section of notes of basically my to-do list, which has kind of been the same for several months because there's just things on there that I just have not gotten around to. But I also will keep track of my writing time, so I will schedule out my time block for writing, and I will put down my start number, what words I start with and what words I end with. And I keep track of that way. And again, I guess I could show an example of that from my old one. So this is what NaNoWriMo looked like. Looks kind of crazy and neurotic, I know. But so I have my writing time, my starting numbers, my ending numbers, my total numbers. If I did more than one chapter, I had my goal numbers over here. And then I even totaled it up for like the whole week, how many words I got, just to have something to compare it to. But that is basically the extent of my planning. Because I don't have the time. So, you know, if I'm gonna do my YouTube videos, I'll list that on my little block. So I got a block for each day. I write down the things that I'm doing that day, maybe the time frames. So I showed you guys that schedule I had before, where it's like, this time is when I work out, and this time is when I work my normal job, and this time is when I write, this is time when I eat. So I follow that pretty generic routine regularly because routines give me life, and if I don't have a routine, then I end up doing nothing. But yeah, so that's basically all I have for you guys today. If you like this video, let me know by commenting below, giving me a thumbs up, or subscribing to my channel. I am going to be doing a lot of research, so hopefully in this coming year I will be posting more videos about specific topics that I'm learning about. If you're interested in that or any specific topics, let me know. Put it below. I'll probably research it. I can make a video. I'm going to be researching a lot about publishing and all that anyway. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed your time here in Kayla's World.